Alright, in this video I'm going to do a quick overview of two different ways to get information out of tables, multiple tables using subqueries. I'm not a huge fan of subqueries. Sometimes you do them in the wrong order, you don't quite understand what you're doing. You can get results that are incorrect. Sometimes they look correct, you don't even know they're incorrect until it's too late. But what you do basically with these, with the in and the exists, is you create an initial query that returns results, and then you write a query against that temporary list of results. So we're going to do a quick example of trying to get a list of the owners out of the Solmeris database that have condos with bedrooms greater than one, like we did in the last one, just to show you how this works. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the inner query that will send a result of a temporary table that we'll then query again. So the inner query actually is typed last, but I'm going to go ahead and do it first just for illustration purposes. So I'm going to write a select statement. I'm going to select the owner number, from the condo unit table, and I'm going to have a where statement, bedrooms greater than one. So if I were to run this, we would get a list of all the owner numbers that were associated with those condos of 2 and 3 bedrooms. But it wouldn't give us their first name, last name, because that, of course, is what we're trying to get at in the other table. So what you do is you would run this query first, but then before that you would say select from that result. So we're going to select last name, first name from owner, where the owner number is in the results of our subquery. So that right there is an example of a very simple subquery. We run that and we see that Bill and Sandy and Bill Anderson and Jack Blake all have the condos with more than 1 bedrooms. The problem is when you're trying to display data in your output from the various tables, it gets a little tricky, and that is where the first limitation comes in. We're going to do the same thing with an exist. What exist does is it runs a subquery, and then it checks to see if a record exists in the record set that is returned in that temporary table. This one doesn't have as many advantages because you still actually have to do a join a lot of times inside the subquery. But I'm going to work from the subquery out. I'm going to say select, I have a curly brace there, it's supposed to be a parentheses. I'm going to say select all from the one table condo unit, but I am going to do my join to say where owner.owner_num is equal to condo unit.owner_num, and bedrooms is greater than 1. So that's going to return our table, and selecting all the fields from that. And once that runs, what we'll do is we'll use the exist query to see if the last name that we're looking for exists in that return set. So we're going to select owner.lastname and owner.firstname from owner, where it exists in our subquery. So again, kind of the same way to get at multiple things. As you get more advanced at this, you'll pick which one you like, because we're in the next video excuse me, I'm going to show you yet another way to look at joining tables and getting the data you need. So we run that, and the table view does not exist, so I have an error. Oh, I misspelled owner right there, and we get the same data. So again, that's just a quick description of what your book goes over for subqueries using the in and exist. In the next video, we'll go ahead and move on to the actual join statements using inner join, outer join, left and right joins, things like that. And then finally we'll wrap it up looking at our union and our intersect.